guys, my name is Brendan. I'm part of Experiential Learning Global Connection, part of Theory Ground. And so today I'm gonna talk about, basically I'm gonna interview people, international students on Brandeis campus, and ask them what their biggest culture shock was. So Taizir, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm from Bangladesh, which is like close to India, Southeast Asian subcontinent. I grew up there and I came to America like a year ago, like for my first semester at Brandeis, and that's when I first came here. So it's been a change, like coming from like Bangladesh to America, but I'm happy.
So you went to international school there, right?
Yeah, I went to an international school. That's how, like, I went to an English medium school. That's how I learned English and everything. But I was always familiar with American culture, like TV and music and all that. So it wasn't as big of a shock as it, as like other international kids.
Right, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I went to international school too in Shanghai.
Yeah.
What would you say is like the main difference between like a local, I guess, school in Bangladesh and the school that you went to?
Local school in local schools, like, they have like more traditional methods of teaching. Like a teacher tells you to do something, you do it specifically like he wants.
Right.
Or else, like, it's not acceptable. You're not allowed to ask questions to your teacher. That's like considered disrespectful.
So it's, the relationship's not bi-directional.
Yeah, the relationship's very one-dimensional. Like,
right.
What they tell you, you do, and if you try to question them, if you think that you're right and the teacher's wrong, you can't bring that up.
That's very interesting, because I mean, this subject of the whole like East education and like the Western education, Eastern education, has been a big debate too. And I'm very aware of it myself, because I come from Korea, where the whole like challenging your professor, teacher, instructor is seen as some sort of taboo kind of issue, right?
Yeah.
So like obviously here at Brandeis you probably have more interactions with your professors and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with that? Are you comfortable with doing that? I mean, if you're from a culture that's so like against, or right?
Yeah. I actually prefer this better, because now I can like have personal relationships with the professor.
Right.
Like, I can ask them questions, and they'll, like, if I think that they're teaching something and like maybe like my logic, it might be more correct, I can like say that out loud. Like, I won't do that maybe in the middle of class if it's like where there are too many people, but after class I can go to a professor and ask my questions, and people here are a lot more friendlier, they're more accepting. They're, instead of like telling me I'm right, you're wrong, they're gonna explain to me their point of view, and it's a more intimate, more personal relationship. It makes like studying a lot easier. Like, if it's not considered work, it's like,
Of course, yeah.
It's better.
I'm gonna digress a bit. Who's your favorite professor?
My favorite professor until now was like Michael Coiner.
Coiner, yeah. Okay, that's good.
Was,
That's good.
like,
That's good. Yeah, we're both econ majors, econ business majors. I had to ask that question. So next question. So this is like the biggest question of this whole interview, right?
Yeah.
So what was your biggest culture shock when you came across, ever since you arrived at Brandeis?
Well, I grew up in Bangladesh, which is like a predominantly Muslim country.
Right.
Like, I've never met a Jewish person in my life.
Never. Like,
Never.
right.
Before Brandeis, I have honestly never met a Jewish person in my life. I had no idea what Jewish culture is like.
Yeah.
So now I'm surrounded by like mostly Jewish kids. I'm at a predominantly Jewish school.
Right.
So that's like been like the biggest change in culture. Like, I just met a whole new group of people that I've never,
I mean, are your parents comfortable with that? Do your parents know
for
that
sure.
you're attending a Jewish school, or?
Oh yeah, of course. Like, my parents, they love Brandeis. They think it's a very good institution, and they have a lot of respect for Jewish people because of their dedication to work. They work hard. Their work ethics. Like, my parents respect that a lot, and that's why they thought that if I'm surrounded by people who are more serious, like more work oriented, like then it'll have like positive externalities on me.
Oh yeah, effectively, right? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next question. So, are there any specific cultures that you experienced during your time here that you would really like to or you could take it back to your own country? You would like to take it back to your country, or you want to see more of that in your country?
I like the whole concept of social justice,
right.
like accepting people who are different than you, instead of like just abiding by traditional religious laws, like like homosexuality and like controversies like that. Like I just want people to get along, and the fact that people here try to like accept instead of create a separation barrier. I wish I could bring it back.
So I mean, are there a lot of like segregation in your country,
or yeah, like it's like a lot more different. Like I can't like necessarily explain it, but people here are accepting,
accepting, friendly,
accepting. Back home, it's like more divided. Like thankfully I come from like a family with a high background, so I've never experienced any sort of thing like that. But I know like a lot of people face a lot of hardships, and like it's hard for them to step out of their social status.
Oh, okay. So this is gonna be like my last question for today. So many people are aware that a big chunk of Brandeis population is Jewish.
Yeah.
And like, are there any particular Jewish events that you attended at Brandeis, like abroad or whatever? If you have been to like an event here, like how did you like it?
I've been to two like strictly Jewish events. One was like hosted by like this Jewish students group at Brandeis. It was called Hookah in the Stroka or something.
Right.
And I went there, and it was just basically like Jewish kids just smoking hookahs, having a good time, talking. And the other one was like the Jewish version of Halloween. I forgot what it's called. Purim. Yeah, Purim was like a very interesting event. Like I didn't know Jewish people.
Did you dress up for it?
Not really. Like I dressed up, but it was like more like it wasn't really costumey.
Right.
It was like me just dressed up well, just dressed up nice, like I pretended to be a lawyer or something.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, like you imagine that you're a Muslim and like the fact this is a Jewish school. Does it like ever come into your way of making friends or like having a conversation? Not really, right?
Not at all. Like I don't think like you should base your friends on religion. Like what religion you choose to believe in is like your personal relationship with God. Right. You shouldn't enforce it on other people.
Right.
Like like if you're Jewish, I'm Muslim. All right, I'm gonna pray my way. You're gonna pray your way. But it doesn't affect our lives. Yeah. So no, I have no problem.
All right. Thank you for your time, Clyde.
Yeah, no problem.